Okay guys, today is a beautiful 67 degrees outside. Winter is coming, and so it's time for me to do a fall hive inspection. What I'm looking for in this particular inspection is I want to see the brood. I want to see how the brood is looking. I want to see if it's cap brood or if it's larvae. I want to ensure that they have enough food stores to get them through the winter. Now, if we find larvae in the hive, larvae is 8 to 13 days for them to be capped and then hatch out. And if it's a fresh egg, that's a 21 day. So if the egg is straight up and down, it's usually been laid fresh. If it's tilted a little bit, it might be a little less than that 21 days. And what we're looking for is those are the bees that are going to last 4 to 6 months. Those are the winter bees. Those are the bees that are ready for the longevity of the winter. And as long as your mite count is good and you're managing your mites and you don't have any condensation in your hive, and those are the ones that are going to last throughout the winter. And then also making sure that your hive doesn't have a whole lot of wetness in it throughout the winter. That's what's going to make them last. So today we're just going to do a fresh inspection. I'm not looking for the queen today. That's what we're going to check today. All right, my friends. So today is a perfect day to get in the hive. So we're going to just do a little check, see how the girls are faring, see if they're ready for winter. Give them just a tiny bit of smoke. So now's a prime time for robbing, so we're gonna just make sure that we do this quickly because we don't want a whole bunch of disruption or other bees, wasps getting into the hive. So as I'm looking down here, all of these look like they are pretty full of honey. This is what they look like. Beautiful. As usual, the outside frames tend to have less honey, it looks like. So I am going to go ahead and probably rearrange a little bit because the outside frames, I want them to fill those up. So I'm just going to checkerboard a little bit. So during the fall, there's a whole lot less pollen stores and things that are giving off nectar, so the bees start using up some of their stores. So now is a good time to probably start feeding them some sugar syrup to get them in through the winter. So this super is pretty full of honey. We're going to go ahead and move it down out of the way so I can check the next one. We're just going to give them a little smoke. This just makes them move down the frames a little bit. So one of the things I'm looking for is also mites or wings that are deformed so that I can see how the health of my bees are as well. Ooh, this frame is full of honey. Looks pretty good. Okay, so once again, these are all full of honey except for the outsides. So I'm going to do the same thing. If you see the very out corner has none on it. Let's see if I can do this without killing a bunch of bees. So they don't like empty frames in the middle, so they'll draw that out pretty quick. So I'm gonna pop that one down in there. So now we're getting down in the brood box. So I'm not using, I'm not spraying any sugar water at this time because now is a big time where there's a lot of robbing going on and that could encourage robbing. So I'm not gonna do that today. You can hear the hives getting a little more agitated. Okay, so they're working on drawing this one out and adding honey to it. So those of you that are seasoned beekeepers, what do you think? What would you say? This hive, does it have enough honey? Because I'm not taking any of it for myself. This is full of honey on one side. Actually, it looks like both sides are full of honey. This one's a super thick one. My video cut off, I think due to the heat. It is, like I said, when I first started, it was around 65 degrees, but I also am having the phone in full sun, so my phone gets a little temperamental when it gets overheated. So I apologize for anything that you may have missed. So that's it for today, guys. We got in the hive, did the quick inspection. The bees obviously were irritated. There's a bunch of wasps hanging around trying to rob, so we just did a quick inspection. It looks like I have a ton, as I said, a ton of honey. I am more concerned about I saw a lot of brood, and I saw some larvae, but I didn't see a whole lot of eggs. But I also was having a hard time seeing one of the downfalls to wearing the bee suit is it gets really hot, and I had sweat dripping in my eyes, so it made it really difficult to see. So that's one of those things that was a little bit harder to see, but it looks like they have enough stores as long as we have enough bees that are being hatched out that are the winter bees that live for, you know, the 4 to 5 months, then we're good to go. So we're gonna do a upcoming video on how I am planning on winterizing my hive here in Northern Idaho. It does get really cold and it stays cold for a really long time, so it's super important that we make sure that it is something that will keep them mostly dry and away from the wind. So that'll be an upcoming video here in the next week or two. As always, I greatly appreciate you watching and being supportive to me. I am a new beekeeper, so if you're experienced in beekeeping, I am more than happy to hear suggestions or comments. As always, I love hearing comments from you guys. If you are not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's free. and it really does help my channel. My goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm over halfway there. So I greatly appreciate you guys. You have a blessed week. We'll see you next week. Bye.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the one